Hey, welcome back. I'm Dr. Miner. This is our video series called Do You Want to Heal Fast or Slow? So we're going to talk about how to use ice and heat right now, but I want to review a little bit of the exercise portion there. Remember, these are not every exercise you're ever going to need to get over an injury. These are things that should be part of a first aid kit, so to speak, when you get injured. You want to start your body moving, but you don't want to overdo it. These are things you can safely do at home if you do them safely. You just remember to stay within your range, or take what your body gives you, and you'll find yourself doing just fine, and you'll get better faster. And then when you're out of pain a little more, your chiropractor, your physical therapist can give you more advanced exercises to do, because there are more advanced exercises to do. There's a lot of things we can do. So let's get back to ice and heat. This is probably the most common question I get in my practice is, Doc, should I use ice or heat on this? And probably some of the patients I have the worst time with as far as being able to work on them when they first come in are people who have laid on a heating pad all night or all day, and they've just had heat on and heat on and heat on, because what that does is it just brings all the blood into the area of injury, and it does go out and in, but it really brings more fluid in there than there should be, and it doesn't give it a chance to get out as much. So ice in the first 3 days of an injury is the best thing you can do. And these people that come in that have been laying on a heating pad for a day, I tell them, go home and ice it, and based on where it is, I tell them to ice it that long every hour or so. If they do it every hour, that'd be great. If I tell them to do it every hour, oftentimes they'll do it every, I don't know, every 2 hours or something. But the more you do it, the better off you are. So, I'll tell you a story. I just thought of this. This goes back in the 1900s when I was a teenager. I was probably 13 or 14 years old, and I sprained my thumb playing basketball. It came off and it caught me just like that and jammed my thumb in here. And I come wailing into the house, Mom, my thumb, what do I do? And Mom knows everything, right? Now you moms that listen to this, you will know what to do now when your kids come. So you'll be superheroes now. Mom is my superpower. Anyway, I went into my mom, and she goes, we got to put it in moist heat. So she got a coffee cup, filled it with pretty hot water, not burning hot, but out of the tap. And I just stuck my thumb in this coffee cup. And then she went and got this old first aid book we had from, I think it was 1939, Red Cross first aid book. And it said, use ice on it. Actually, I may be mixing this up, but whatever it was, she read one thing and it said to put heat on it. And then she goes, oh no, you need ice. And we went and got some ice water, and I stuck my thumb in that. And then she read another book and it said, oh no, we got to use heat on it. So I went and got heat on it and stuck it in warm water. And then she goes, I said, I think the ice is better. And she goes, okay, put ice water back in. Anyway, it turns out it was actually good contrast therapy, alternating hot and cold, which is not a bad thing to do anyway, especially if you don't know what to do. If you have both soreness and tightness and really inflamed joints, then contrast therapy can actually do a great job for you. Anyway, it's such a confusing thing. I want to try to clear up some of the confusion here. So the simple rule is use ice for the first 3 days, or until the swelling and the pain are gone, or at least subsided quite a bit and you're getting back to normal, starting to get back to normal. You can use heat to warm up stiff and sore muscles and joints. Like if I'm just sore, I'm not sure I want to go out in the yard and do this because my back is so sore. Well, heat it up a little bit first and see how that does, and then you can go out and do what you need to do. By the way, a hot shower is one of those things people always ask me about. Using a heating pad isolates the heat to one area, see. A hot shower warms up everything and can actually loosen things up, and is even great when you're in the acute phases of an injury the first 3 days. Even if you should be using ice, heating the whole body up is actually a great thing to do. It relaxes everything and helps you get a little more movement. It relaxes some of those tight muscles. So when in doubt, use ice. That's a little mantra we have. If you don't know what to do, use ice. When in doubt, use ice. So where do you put it? And how long do you put it on there? Okay, so heat and ice have a few things different. That heat sometimes needs a little bit longer than the ice does. And these are general guidelines. If you do it for 11 minutes on your neck, it's not going to be that bad. If you do it for 9 minutes, you haven't lost all the benefit. But these are the guidelines here. So the bottom line is this. The thicker the tissue, the deeper the joint, the longer you leave it on. So you see the low back and the hips are about 20 minutes, where the neck is half as long. So putting ice on the neck for 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes for heat tends to do the best job. Now, can you do it every half an hour? Yeah, you can do it every half an hour if you need to. But you want to give it half an hour in between treatments. So your low back and hips, 20 minutes, 20 minutes. 15 minutes on the shoulders and the knees, goes both ways. Elbows, ankles, and feet are about the same thickness. And so you'll use that, 10 minutes on that. And hands, fingers, and toes, 3 to 5 minutes, because the fingers get really cold. The toes get cold. 5+ minutes of heat, because oftentimes they need a little more to actually warm up. The ice works superficially faster. So that's how long you use it. We'll have this in a handout. And now another question is, how do you put it on? So you'd never put it directly on the skin. Always put it through your clothes or through a towel, and that'll protect the skin, because it can get cold or hot really fast. And you don't want to lie on the heat or the ice, because it compresses the veins and it can actually cause burns. I've seen burns. I've seen first-degree burns in people that come in because they've laid on the heating pad for so long. And the same thing with ice. Ice will actually burn too. So never put it right on your skin. Even a paper towel sometimes is enough, especially on the lower back. You don't have a lot of sensory nerves down there as much as you do. So you always have to put something on there, or you can burn and not feel it till later. So contrast therapy, we talked about that. It's alternating hot and cold. 3 to 5 minutes of heat, immediately followed by 3 to 5 minutes of ice, like on my thumb. 3 to 5 minutes of hot, 3 to 5 minutes of cold, 3 to 5 minutes of hot, 3 to 5 minutes of cold, 3 to 5 minutes of hot, 3 to 5 minutes of cold. And what you get then, after 20 to 30 minutes, you'll really pump the fluid out of that area. Sometimes it's what the best therapy you can do, better than using just heat or ice alone. Especially after a few days, after the first 3 days, you really want to start pumping the dead fluids out of there. Okay, so that ought to cover ice and heat. All you parents at home now will be experts. When your kid sprains his thumb, you'll know just what to do. All right, so we'll be back next time, and we'll see you here. Thank you very much. Bye now.